Greetings, Whiskey Spelunkers. Welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm your host, Mark, and this is Whiskey Review number 121. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, which is now known as Single Barrel Select. This is an older bottling. It's a miniature, as you can see, and I found this very recently at the Namdaemun Underground Market, and it was, well, not a bad price, about 12,000 won. So that's about $10 or $11. Probably a little higher than would be ideal, but anyway, better this than to buy a full bottle of it and not know whether I like it or not. I'm pretty sure I will, because it seems like everybody says that for Jack Daniel's, the single barrel is the thing to buy. Both the single barrel, the barrel proof, single barrel proof, that's a really hot number if you can find that one. And then also the fairly new single barrel rye, which I would love to get my hands on. Anyway, so here we are, single barrel from Jack Daniel's. Now, I've already done a review of Jack Daniel's, the Gentleman Jack. That's only, I think, a couple of reviews ago. That was maybe 118, so you can have a look at that. Let's give this one a try. Pour that in our Glencairn. This is 45% ABV. It is Tennessee whiskey with an E. And like other Jack Daniel's products, it has had some mellowing, as they call it, occur to the spirit, which is taking the new make spirit and pouring it over sugar maple charcoal before it goes in the cask. That helps it develop some nice color and also some interesting flavors, which helps to separate it from your standard bourbons from Kentucky and elsewhere. All right. I can recognize that, yes, this is definitely Jack Daniel's. It smells not dissimilar to Gentleman Jack. And, well, I don't know why I keep doing that lately. I guess winter's coming, so it's nice to get your hands warm, isn't it? All right, anyway, we're going to get onto the nosing and the tasting. We'll talk about the finish, and then we'll give it a bit of a score. Now, I have never tried this before, so I'll be working without any notes whatsoever, just from my own nose, which is in pretty good condition. I don't have a cold right now. Likewise for the taste and the finish, it'll be all off the top of my head. I have not paid attention to what other websites say about how it tastes or smells, because I find that just ends up giving me some sort of a bias about how it tastes. So that's what we'll do. Okay, we'll get on to the nosing now, and before that we'll have a very short advertisement right here. Welcome back. The advertisements shown here on Whiskey Whistle will go eventually to help offset the cost of some of the bottles. As someone recently asked, Mark, you buy most of your bottles, don't you? And yes, I have purchased the lion's share, let's say 95% or more of the whiskey shown on my channel came out of my own pocket. Now, that may reduce in the future, that may be reduced somewhat because, well, I just can't keep it up. And I really think that I've got something interesting here for my viewers and my subscribers. So I'd like to keep things going. I may have to rely on possibly some of my subscribers, some of my friends, and some of the people that I've met in the industry that feel that the Whiskey Whistle channel has some merit as far as marketing and introducing spirits, well-aged spirits, nicely aged whiskeys to people. All right, well, anyway, so this one I also bought out of my own pocket. So let's see how that is now. Here we are. Whew, that's a lot of spice. Very potent. Now, this is the older bottling. You can see the new form of the single barrel. It's known as Single Barrel Select now. 45% ABV. all natural in color. The distillery, Jack Daniel's Distillery, do they chill filter it? Who knows? If you do know, let me know. I would wonder if they did. Interestingly, for this one also, orange and vanilla, just coming out the yin yang. Bit of spice, some cinnamon, a little bit of clove, a little bit of ginger. This one also has a little bit of youthful vigor to it. I wouldn't hazard to guess how old this was, but I would say that it's probably not much more than 4 or 5 years old. Maybe 6. And I mentioned that before, even though Jack Daniel's uses a fairly low rye content, despite that, there's still a lot of rye flavors and scents coming through in the whiskey. All right, well, let's give that a taste now. Sorry for the wait. Again, it's the first time I've tried this before, so I have to take my time with it, you know. Here we go. Cheers, everyone. For this one, on the palate, you really notice the lower rye content in this. And it's sweet. It is sweet, just like bourbon. Most bourbons are. It's technically this can be called a straight bourbon. They just prefer Tennessee whiskey to as its distinction, I should say. But even though it's sweet, there's a good bit of sourness to it as well. Kind of like underripe apples. You've got the sweetness there, but then there's that tart rush. Interesting. The finish is nice. Caramel apples. There's a hint of floral there. Something like orange blossoms. For the Canadians watching, you may not remember, but a long time ago, let's say the late 80s, early 90s, there was a range of yogurt from Astro that had edible flowers in it. Anyway, there's something floral about this to it, and I always find that with Jack Daniel's. With the old number 7, something, just a hint of a floral note to it. Gentleman Jack, less so. But this one, again, I'm getting that little bit of floral added to the caramel. Reminds me of lilacs. A bit of waxiness to it as well in the finish. Very mouth coating, and the finish does not stop. Okay, we're going to add 1 good measure of water. That's about 3 milliliters added. I'm going to save a bit of that because I want to compare Jack Daniel's A, B, and C in a future review. Let that mix up a little bit. Okay, what happens now with this? We'll have another short advertisement right here. Welcome back, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, this time with water. All right, fresh stacks of newspaper. Fresh cut wood. Maybe that's the sour mash coming through here, but there is just a touch of sourness to it, like a sour apple. So apples that have fallen on the ground, that have slightly turned, or a bruised apple, if you smell that. A little bit sour. More like an apple jam, or I forget the word I'm looking for. Apples that have been blended up. What's that called again? I've been living here in Korea too long. Applesauce. It smells like applesauce. Applesauce with caramel added, a bit of vanilla, and cinnamon added to it. Okay, so applesauce with cinnamon, vanilla, bit of caramel. Okay, on to the taste. Cheers all. Big applesauce now. Apple cider. Strong apple cider. Applesauce. Caramel. Cinnamon. A little bit of clove, a little bit of ginger there. Some vanilla. Not apple pie, but apple crumble with the cinnamon, buttery, crunchy bits on top. And then imagine you add just a hint of butter to a bowl of hot applesauce with cinnamon and ginger and caramel in it. This is what I'm getting now. Just a hint of saltiness, a little bit of oiliness to it. Well, that is interesting. I think for some this would be a good challenger to what I really like from bourbon, which my viewers, my subscribers may know. So this is getting up there. Some of the bourbons that I've tried that I've really liked, this is pretty much pound for pound as good. The apple is nice, very, very nice. And I think for the price, which I think is pretty reasonable, this is definitely a good offering. And probably very much similar to what Jack Daniel's had been before they started reducing the proof. So, one more taste. Well, isn't that nice? Okay, so Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for that is going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be 86 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, which is now known as Single Barrel Select. Very well made, very interesting and potent apple essence that's coming through here. So that's really, really nice. If you're someone who likes apple pie most of all, this would be the whiskey that I would say you should try, because it's like apple pie in a glass with extra applesauce and a little bit of cinnamon in there. Very nice. Maybe we should just call this one, I don't know, the Jack Daniel's apple pie liqueur. Well, it's not a liqueur. This is Tennessee whiskey. I shouldn't use the word liqueur. Jack Daniel's, the apple pie bliss. That's better. Apple pie bliss. Okay, so 86 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score. The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score, I should say. I think I stumbled over that one for single barrel. Wonderful. Thanks for joining in. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the link right down there. Don't forget about Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Everything is just WhiskyWhistle. Find me and like me and leave a comment, wouldn't you? That'd be great. And we'll see you next time for Whiskey Review number 122. Take care now.